We're gonna marinate this one. Oh, there's this. Yep, he's on it. Oh, come on, suck it all the way down. Yep. There it goes. Woo! Woo! That's the biggest one of the year, dude.
Let's go, addicts.
Congrats, buddy.
What is up, all you addicts out there? Thank you so much for joining another episode of Addicted. Today we're having a fun day because we are doing some tributary springer fishing with my good buddy Jason from Steel Obsession Guide Service. You guys see Jason probably a lot in our live feeds. If you don't watch our live feeds, guys, every single Wednesday, 6:30 p.m., we're live on YouTube and Facebook and we're talking fishing. So if you guys don't see him, make sure you guys tune in on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. But tonight, or not tonight, today, it's this morning. It feels like tonight.
It does.
This guy had me getting up at like 2 in the morning to come here to come catch these springers. But we got a couple in the box already. It's been an amazing day. We're gonna try to get one more for the camera boy, Sean, and hopefully he can take one home today too. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget, check out the link below. I'll give you guys a link to Jason's Instagram page if you guys wanna get out here and catch with him. He's doing springers, summer steelhead. Gonna be fishing a lot over the next few months, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much anything tributary, we're getting after it. And we got the raft, so we're accessible to a lot of water that a lot of people aren't accessible to.
And he's fishing a lot of the rivers that you guys see in our videos. So if you guys want to get out, fish some of those rivers, hit up Jason. It's gonna be a good day.
Cheers. Send our coon shrimp out. Send this thing out to 50 on the line counter. Let her soak. See what happens. See if we can get a springer. That's what we want to hear. Alright, so this morning, guys, we're able to fish about an hour before daylight in the state of Washington. So we set some baits out. We got some jet divers out right now. We're just out there kind of dangling back there, just nice and stationary. And I found sometimes in these low light conditions, just having something out there just standing still, sitting still, swimming still, tends to work better in the low light, almost no light situations. If I'm gonna choose a color, in low light, I'm gonna go with something bright, something that's gonna throw off a lot of flash, something that they can see down there. So I'm gonna send that out too. Since Shauno's in the boat too, we can fish 3 rods. Right side, right rod. Let him take it. Let him take it. Okay. Is he on it? Oh yeah, he's on it. Yeah. Coming at you? Yeah.
Oh, I think he just came. No way. I think he just came.
Dude, he just popped.
Right there. He was so there too. Oh, sometimes that just happens, guys. You do everything right. We waited for him. He munched it. Didn't really set the hook. Didn't have to.
No,
just kind of lean into him.
He was definitely there.
I've been waiting like 3 weeks to catch one of those addicts. I haven't been able to do much springer fishing because me and Jordan have been in Australia chasing real fish.
Everything. Not our assassin blend, but just the old normal millennial coon shrimp in the red. Ran out of my pinks, so we were on to red, and it works. So this is how I rig my coonies. I literally take them right in the top of that, right at the top of the peak. Boom. Shove that through there. I'll kind of put my fingers once that hook points through, get that barb through so it doesn't tear the shrimp up. Boom. And that is what you end up with. Yeah, that does pop right now. A lot of people like to, take the claw completely off, but I like to sometimes just clip that chomper off, and then it leaves that cavity right there, and it just kind of flows out. It's just scent. It's just extra scent. So I like to leave it on sometimes. A little do here, so I'll kind of curl it over. I won't go into that one. I'll go into the second one and come out of that third or fourth, depending on your hook size. And I'll come through my bait loop. I'll just grab that tail with my middle finger and my thumb. Send that loop around just the tail. Cinch that up. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just around that part of the tail and the spine. And then what I'll do here with my treble, stick it right in the top of the head, and there you have your rig. Brody fell.
What she did?
Right as I was. Oh, that's a fish, right side. Yep. Oh, come on. He's there, he's swimming with it. Okay. Yeah, reel into him. Or feed it. Ooh, get the head off.
Yep, push the head off.
Marlin's really cold right now, and it feels like a winter steelhead day. So it's dipped the water temperature down, and these fish are definitely being a lot more shy with the bites. So that's why right there we let them sit. We're waiting for that line to go.
You gotta let him eat it.
Waiting for him to kind of peel line. That's what we want to hear before we really yank it out of the holder. Unless he's just absolutely got it pinned and he's just laying on it.
Well, that's why too on that last fish, I took it out of the holder. I just waited for him to really be there before I leaned into him. And he still came off.
Did you make sure you zeroed it?
Yep.
We're gonna marinate this one.
Oh, there's this.
Yep, he's on it. That's a better fish. Oh yeah, he's a migrator for sure. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you got 20-pound test on there, so you're.
The hooks are what always scares me.
Yeah.
Just ripping the hook out of their face, you know.
We got ourselves a ripper. It's a live one. Let's just keep doing.
It's just fighting, dude.
Exactly.
This is the fun part, guys.
Yeah.
There's no sense in getting them in quick. Other than we do want to eat it.
Yeah, we want to eat this one. If you can, though, try and get them on this right side because it is softer. Yeah.
It's just.
Ooh, yeah.
We just came off in the. Told you it wasn't hooked very good. Give me some, dude.
That's the biggest one of the year, dude.
Let's go, Alex.
Congrats, buddy.
That's how we do it over here at Steel Obsession Guide Service, fellas, ladies and gentlemen.
That is a fatty Lower Columbia River tributary spring Chinook. Let's see where he was hooked. Freaking by the skin of his teeth. Oh yeah.
You can see, guys, how we just, on these fish, it's so important just to wait. Just wait and let him eat it. Because you could see, even with how long we let him take it, he still was barely hooked.
Yep, he's on it. Salmon do 4 things in their lives, guys. They swim, they eat, and they die. So when they're eating, you let them eat. Let them eat, let them eat, let them eat.
We're gonna get our catch card out. Very important thing, guys, when you catch these fish. Get your fish marked right away.
Fresh fish, dude. Super fresh.
That'll do.
That'll do. Welcome back to America. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I got my homemade ice. And honestly, this will stay frozen literally all day on like a 85, 90 degree day. These kill bags, you can see this one has been through the ringer and it still, it holds them, it holds this ice perfect. But boom. Oh, nice. Oh,
Are you me? That was such a good bite.
Bro, he cranked that.
Was that the one that rolled?
It might have been. If that was the one that rolled, he traveled a good 40, 50 feet for that bait.
There he is. I had him, dude. You bastard.
Instant replay.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there he is. I had him, dude.
They want some eggs. Oh, come on, suck it all the way down. Yep.
There he is. On him.
Boy. Oh. They needed a couple of casts to milk that bait out, and then they just needed a couple of fresh berries on there.
Well, we were upriver, you know, doing the bait diver thing, and we thought, you know what? Let's go down the river and make a little quick change, and then look for some bobber fish.
Bob's?
Turns out it paid off, boys.
You.
Wild. What?
Got me.
Yup.
In the scoop.
Woo! Purple
Just
back, baby.
Purple back.
Just an absolute purple back sea lice.
Sea lice. Oh, and another one. Oh, that's a long tail, dude. A freshness sticker. So this is what kind of signifies the freshness of this fish. So this is a sea lice. This kind of attaches onto them out in the ocean, and they come off when they get into fresh water. So to see that on this fish in fresh water, we're probably close to what, 80 miles from salt. So that fish was boogieing. That is a very, very fresh Lower River, Columbia River tributary spring Chinook. Say that 10 times fast. Oh my gosh. Dude, that thing was pinned. Both hooks. So guys, these new bait hooks that we just came out with are absolutely stunner. Look at how that fish is hooked. Kind of by the skin of his teeth, but look at the bite that thing got. And then I've been having really good success, guys, with these little bead hooks for trailer hooks. They are the real deal. I mean, that one is definitely, that's the one that had it really pinned. I was fully confident that fish was not coming off. So what we'll do here, rip them. So guys, a lot of times what I do with these super nice, bright spring Chinook is I don't bonk them. I'll actually keep them alive, and then I'll just rip a gill, because it'll actually pump their blood. Their heart will actually keep pumping after their gills are ripped, and it'll pump the blood out for you. You can kind of see she's pretty empty. I'll come right here and kind of give her a little massage down the spine as I'm kind of shaking it, keeping that head in the water, keeping that blood from coagulating. Pretty blood out. It's a good one. Thank you.
All right, guys, we are done with the day of fishing.
We did it.
We did it. We showed up back here at the Addicted Shop. We got live feed tonight. Again, like you said at the beginning of the episode, we do live feeds every single Wednesday. So we thought if we're gonna be at live feed, we might as well let a master do the fillet.
Master. Okay, so first off, you guys can fillet just as good as I can, but you guys know that we've got this little baby coming out, and we've actually settled finally on a date, June 30th. These will be available. I don't know exactly where. It'll be on the Addicted website, I'm sure, to some capacity, but June 30th, guys. We got them. We got them in hand.
They're gonna be
It's time.
$799.
$799. Every time we talk about it, the price keeps going up. It won't be that expensive, but probably close. But yeah, so we
Not even close.
we wanted to feature this one more time and show you guys, because I'm actually going to be taking one of these fish home, and Marlon has challenged me to do a smoke with a Big Chief. I'm not really a Big Chief guy. Got to try it again. So here we go.
Throw it up there. Throw it up on the filleways. Is this your fish, the sea licer?
This is the licer.
The sea licer. Ooh, is that the one I get?
This thing had long tail sea lice. You're taking both these things, dude.
Am I taking both of them?
Yeah. What makes this knife so good? Because everyone keeps asking me, what makes your knife better than everyone else's?
Okay, so with quality steel, we don't know if we're going to really release the materials that we're using for this knife yet. I think I've said
Probably
in the
not.
past, but we're probably not going to do that. But here's the thing. If you want to make a knife hard, it gets brittle if it's not quality steel. And what happens with brittle knives is the edge chips. So when you buy, like, I'm just going to say it, your $20, $30, $40 fillet knives, it's not really high quality steel that they harden to a certain, I guess it'd be a certain degree that will hold the edge. So the edge rolls over, it rounds. It's why you have to run a honing steel against the knife, you know, after just doing 1 or 2 fish. Well, when you're in guide capacity and you're fishing every day and you're doing all that kind of stuff, like, it's really kind of a pain in the butt to just not have a sharp knife. And I'm very, very particular about how sharp my knives is, because the sharper the knife, the better the fillet job, period.
Yep.
So the high quality steel that we can temper up, we use there's a tempering company in the United States. They are known for doing the absolute best tempering of the metal. That's where these go, and that's another big part of it too. So it's material and it's temper, and then of course it's sharpening it to a razor sharp edge.
And the cool thing I'm stoked about, which I didn't even know this until recently, but
Yeah.
Cameron and his buddy Ben, who have worked countless hours on developing this knife, they chose a veteran-owned company in the USA to make these knives. So these is a USA-made, veteran-owned company that is manufacturing these knives, which is really cool.
It's hard to get everything manufactured in the United States, but when we had the opportunity to do that with the knife company, that it was a no-brainer.
And then I love the handle. It looks very basic, but a lot went into the handle as well. Just getting the right feel, the right shape. You got your little thumb grippers right here.
Yep. Yeah, we got a lot of scalloping in the handle, guys. It's made out of the G10. And then having that thumb there where you can push your thumb in and dig it into the end of the blade for when you're doing cuts, when you're pushing through the salmon, makes it real beneficial. And then too, if you're one of those guys that wants to scrape the bloodline, we actually just brought back the handle a little bit to where you have a nice metal edge that you can use to scrape the bloodline. It's not really a spoon, but it's just a feature that if you want to do it. And then also too, if this thing ever gets slammed down against that, it protects the handle a little bit because you're up against that metal edge instead of the G10. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to chip, it's not going to braid, but it's just one little thing, just one little afterthought that makes the knife even
And then
better.
we just did things very subtle, guys. If I had it my way, it would be addicted as big as it could possibly be on the knife, but Cam won on this. So we just did a very subtle little addicted, some little subtle greens.
Yeah,
just nice and clean.
Dude, I'm super proud of it. I've used it for a year. I can say over a year now.
Talk about the flex, because I know, again, the flex is very important for salmon and steelhead.
So flex, guys, like a lot of people think that fillet knives, when it comes to salmon and steelhead, you want to have this really whippy, bendy knife. But the problem is with a knife that can flex 90 degrees, when you're running along backbones or when you're running along rib bones, it's going to want to walk and it's going to wave and it's going to do things that you don't necessarily want it to do. So this is going to be a dedicated salmon steelhead knife. The flex that I have in this, as you guys can see, I'm flexing right there, is about what I want, because I've got a thin blade that I can turn inside the fish. I want nice, straight, clean cuts that are tight to the bone. You're going to get that with a firmer knife. There
You're
is
about
some
to see
flex, but it's not a ton of flex. Now, when it comes to halibut, when it comes to bottom fish, lingcod, there are times you're going to want flex. Stay tuned for that. But for the salmon and steelhead specific knife, I want this knife to power through some of those rib bones. I want it to stay nice and straight when it's making the fillet, and that's why we settled on a firmer flex, and probably what a lot of you guys are used to.
Sweet, let's see this bad boy in action.
Bad boy in action. All right, guys. You guys have seen me do this in many videos before, but we're gonna just remove some fins.
Good little meal.
Nice shallow cut just to make sure.
Ooh, you called it. Some little eggies in there.
That's why I brought 2 bags over here.
Just removing the guts.
Those are gonna catch a springer in a couple days, probably. Little mini, those look like they make good steelhead eggs.
All comes out in one nice package. Boop.
Looks a lot like Clint's package.
And just for fun, we're gonna remove the dorsal.
Clint just comes right in and gets caught with a stray bullet. Just immediately gets caught with a stray.
And then, guys, the big deal about the knife and why we've designed it like this is for this cut right here. going in behind the collar, going to the backbone. And then since the blade is so thin, I can actually turn it in there and run it under and just run it right along the backbone in one fell swoop. Bring it out, perfect fillet. Backside, same thing. Angle in behind the head, keep it tight along the backbone.
Oh, the meat looks phenomenal.
You can see, guys, having that nice sharp blade, you can see how even that is. Like, there is very little meat loss. Jason, do you want these backbones for anything?
No, I'm good.
Collars?
Collars.
I'll take the collars, sure.
The old collar cut. Well, since you sliced the throat, I get some collars for you. Just perfect. I'm gonna do a little quick rib bone removal. Oh, since I'm gonna be smoking these, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take about 10 seconds here.
Cut them up into your smoke sizes.
I'm gonna do real thin smoke on these.
That's right, guys. We're gonna smoke this Springer. Everyone, let's hear the triggered comments below.
Yep, we're gonna smoke these Springers. Because that's how you make the best smoked salmon, is you smoke your Springers.
Barbecue about 3 or 4 a year and then smoke the rest.
Now I don't have to cut anything up when I get home. All right, the knife did its job, as you can see, but loaded her up. We're gonna take it back to my house. Marlon is challenging me to do the Big Chief thing.
I keep telling him it's gonna be better fish.
We're gonna
No doubt.
We're gonna test it. No, Blair says no doubt.
No debate.
Guaranteed, money back, 100%.
Exactly. He knows.
All right, back to my place. Okay, everyone, back in my garage here. I've got my little setup, and what I've done is I've got this little strainer that I kind of made out of an old basket, and I've put all my fish in there, and I've just given it a very, very, very light rinse. You know, I don't want to sit there and rinse all the oils and all the fats out of the meat, but I definitely want to get like some of that old slime, some of the stuff that maybe got on it out the river, kind of off the meat, at least knock it off before I start my brining process. For my brine, for my dry brine, I use a 6-to-1 brown sugar to salt. I like my fish a little more candied, and I definitely don't like it super salty for especially the amount of time that I'm gonna leave it in the brine. I like to brine my fish, you know, 2 to 3 day process. I really like to make sure that all the salt and all the sugar can saturate into the meat. So one thing, I'm gonna reduce that salt down. I know in previous videos and sometimes for my kokanee stuff I say 4-to-1, but really that 6-to-1 I think is kind of like the magic number, especially for the smaller chunks that we're gonna do here. And then I've got my container that I'm going to brine the fish in and store for a couple days in a cooler full of ice. Obviously that container is a little bigger than doing the fridge, but I've got some coolers here that are iced down and ready to go, and I'm going to use that as my refrigerator for when I'm, you know, basically letting these fish sit for a couple days. I don't want to leave this fish sitting out just in my garage. You know, who knows what the temperatures are going to do. I want to kind of keep a controlled environment, so going to chill them out. So let's get going. All right, everybody, finished product, and you can already see that just in the time that I've coated all those pieces, it's gonna start drawing that moisture out from inside the fish. So basically over the next day, it's gonna suck a lot of that moisture out of the outside of the fish. It's gonna start the curing process. I'm gonna join back with you guys here in just a moment and show you guys what that's gonna look like. But don't be alarmed if it creates a lot of liquid in the bottom of that brine, or the bottom of that tote, because that's the brine that you're gonna basically finish the fish off for the next couple days. Looking good. I made a mess on my counter, but you know. I was gonna say, I almost forgot, guys. This is the cooler setup I was talking about, where I'll throw a bunch of ice in the bottom of a Kong cooler here, close the lid, seal it up, and then come back here. I'm gonna come back in about 24 hours to stir that up for you guys and show you what it looks like.
3 days later.
So here we are 3 days later, guys, and as you can see, I've got this fish, and it's beautifully brined, but it has a lot of excess brown sugar and salt kind of stuck on it. You can see I'm gonna wanna knock a lot of that off. So what I'm gonna do is I've got my sink here, and I'm just gonna very lightly give those fish a rinse and then throw them all in my strainer here. I don't wanna like get too crazy because I don't wanna rehydrate the salmon. So I'm just gonna give it all a real quick rinse, and we're gonna put it on the grate here in just a minute.
Later.
Start loading the smoker up. Put these thinner pieces up top. what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let these air dry in there. Now, one thing, guys, is when you're loading these smokers up, make sure you have a lot of room between your fish pieces so the smoke and the air can kind of circulate around them. You don't want to like load your racks too much. Fortunately, there's 5 of them on this thing, so you got a lot of room to put a lot of fish in there. Man, so one thing cool, guys, that I already noticed is that that was 2 whole salmon, and I have got more than enough room on these racks. And so what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna let these air dry. I might even bring a fan out here. I'm gonna check on this in about a half hour, and if it hasn't really dried, I'm gonna come out and bring a fan and put it on there just so it gets a little more tacky and a little more dry before we start the smoking process.
2 hours later.
Okay, it's been a couple hours. Things have been getting pretty dry. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing started because I want to make sure that it gets done before dark. So I'm gonna we're gonna go alder chips today. We need a little pan and get her smoking. Alrighty. Okay, check back in a couple hours. Okay, so I've done about 3 pans at the Big Chief Smoker, and I'm thinking I'm about 3/4 of the way done. And what I want to do is I'm going to make my brown sugar coating that's going to go on to the smoked fish. So what we're going to do to start is I'm going to use a little bit of this, you know, this brown liquidy stuff that you guys probably already know what it is, but for the kids, we're just going to leave it out of this. But we are going to use a little bit of it to thin down the coating, because what's going to happen as it heats up, that alcohol is going to evaporate off that. It's going to leave a little more stick to that brown sugar and that honey. It's going to stay on the fish instead of just fall right off. So we're going to mix this up together, and then we're going to get to basting our salmon. A little honey, more brown sugar in there, and then a little bit of this. Mix it up. Now, guys, this is a little bit too thin. Believe it or not, I actually want it to be a little thicker, so I'm just going to add some more brown sugar to that. I don't want it to fall right off the fish. Ooh, there it goes. It gets that consistency that's kind of like wet sand almost. Let's head outside. Okay. Ooh, good clean burn. I'm gonna set that aside. Let's take a look, guys. Ooh, it's warm. Ooh, it's getting there. Oh, look at that, guys. I can tell it's not quite done yet. I am gonna hit it with the temperature probe, but it is probably right at that point where we're gonna want to put the brown sugar bourbon on. Set that there. Look at that. Oh, baby. You guys can see how that's got more of a stick to it. It's not just going to cook right off that smoked fish, and that's going to create a nice glaze. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm probably going to cook this for about another half hour, maybe 45 minutes. And then I might come back through and do a whole nother second coat, because when you put this stuff on your fish, I think it just makes it more of a candied appearance. And I can tell you what, it tastes absolutely phenomenal. So, back in smoker.
A few minutes later.
Oh my goodness, guys. We are getting close. You can see there, it's that brown sugar glaze really stuck to that fish. But you know what? We're gonna do it one more time and really see that kind of chunkier brown sugar glaze. Here we go. I apologize, guys. It's really hard to do this one-handed. Oh my gosh. So now that I've done the second baste of our brown sugar mixture that's going on the salmon, I'm only gonna let it probably sit in the Big Chief for maybe about 30 more minutes. I just want it to get on there. I just want it to warm up. I want it to seal to the fish. And then we're gonna let it cool down, and we've got some special guests coming over tonight because I want them to be the first official taste testers to let you guys know exactly how this comes out.
A few moments later.
Okay, so Marlon challenged me to use the Big Chief smoker for this batch of salmon. Moment of truth. I kind of did pop the cover just to make sure that it cooled. Makes it a little easier to handle. Here we go, guys. I want you to take a look at this. Oh my goodness. That brown sugar glaze has stayed on there. It's cooked onto there. Nice dark red meat. Perfectly done. I'm gonna pull one of these open just so you guys can see a little bit. Oh my goodness, look at that. Alright, I'm gonna take that bite right there. Give it a try. Oh my gosh, you guys. Perfectly done. Insanely moist. Got some special guests coming here, for just stay tuned just for another minute. Let me revel in the fact that this is probably some of the best smoked salmon I've ever made. Oh my gosh, look at that. Perfectly candied. You can kind of see the edge. I hope you guys can see all that. Ridiculous, dude. Absolutely freaking ridiculous. Look at that. All right, we're over here having a little Memorial Weekend barbecue, but I want to give Clint. We got a special guest Clint here, and we are going to see what his first impression is of this smoked salmon. He doesn't know this yet. This is totally brand new. Clint, we need to talk.
What did I do now?
Cameron.
Go first impression.
Go for the thin. Go for the thin part.
Why are we filming this? What if it's
Just
bad?
do it. No idea.
That's pretty good.
Just pretty good.
No, it's actually really good. I'm going for more. Is that your candy recipe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes like candy.
Stormy's like, let me have some.
Michael, this guy knows smoked salmon.
Am I gonna get a piece?
That's really good.
What do you want, dog?
She's like, I want
good.
a bite too.
I want some of that. That was smoked salmon.
Casey Kelly, yeah, he is a snob. This will be the test. I just wanted to surprise Clint.
Nothing thin. I want something thin. There we go.
There you go, candy.
Thin to win?
Casey.
So, okay, no, so you know, I'm sorry, we just go around.
I need that.
You eat that? That's where he's at. I'll eat that. Good stuff. All right.
So
There's
I
the
was
verdict.
coming from north and I was already in the loft.
All right, end product. All vacuum sealed up, guys. I can say that right now, Marlon making me do that on the Big Chief came out really good. Came out really moist. It was super simple to use. The Big Chief was able to take 2 salmon on all 5 of those grates, and so it was nice because I can do a large amount. I got lots of good vacuum sealed packages that I'm going to share with my clients, family, and friends over the next couple months. And I hate to break it to you guys, nothing is better than smoked Springer. So all in all, it came out fantastic. The guests liked it, everybody liked it, and hope you guys will enjoy this episode too. Be sure to give us a like, share this with your friends, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.